it's Heather and welcome to Strings and Threads. Thank you for coming and stopping by today. Today we're doing a video tutorial for the crossed single crochet water bottle carrier. And here's how it will look when it's done. There's going to be two handles on it. I made it specifically for my water bottle. If you see any name brands on it, it just happens to be my water bottle. I'm not affiliated by any means. But here's how it will look once it's in. And you can use the handles to carry it. This tutorial will show you how to make this customizable to whatever water bottle you're going to use. So you'll need your water bottle. I have mine here. You'll need medium weight cotton yarn. You'll need a pair of scissors. And you'll need an 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. Most of this water bottle is made with the crossed single crochet. However, the bottom is not. The bottom is just made up of half double crochets. So we'll start with the bottom. And you'll need to keep your water bottle handy just so that you can keep checking the sizes. We're going to start by putting 10 half double crochets in a magic circle. If you haven't done a magic circle before, hopefully this is an easy way for you to be able to do it. This was the way that I learned. It's pretty simple. You just make a circle kind of as if you were going to be making a slip knot. And you go in and pull the loop, but do not pull it tight. You just end it right there. Some people don't chain, they just get right to the first stitch. I think it gives a little more definition to show you where the stitches end if you chain first. So I chain one and then put 10 half double crochets into the circle. All right, here are my 10 half double crochets. I'm going to pull the magic circle tight. You use your original tail. You don't want to use the yarn one. And then you're going to attach with a slip stitch to the first half double crochet. Chain one. For round 2, we're going to put 2 half double crochets into each stitch around. So we'll end up with a total of 20 half double crochets in this round. I'm going to do one more with you. When you've completed the round, come back. Let's pause here. Okay, come around. We're going to attach with a slip stitch to the first half double crochet and then chain one. This next round will be to put an increase or put 2 half double crochets in the first stitch and then 1 half double crochet in the next. This is the pattern that we're going to go around with. I'll show you one more time. We should end up with 30 half double crochets at the end of this round. 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, 1 in the next. Pause here. I'll pause here and then we'll come back when we're around. Okay, you want to start measuring. I know that mine are going to need, for it to be the correct size for mine, it's going to need 2 more rounds. I've already done the measuring because you want it to come well past the bottom rim. So if I set it down here, if I were to start building up, it would be way too tight to fit in there. You want to have a loose fit. But if you have a smaller bottomed bottom, in fact, let me measure this so that we can compare. Mine's about 2.5 inches which is about 7 centimeters. So if yours is about the same, you'll want to make it the same size that I'm making mine. If yours is smaller, you might want to maybe stop here or put one more round on. If yours is bigger, you're going to need to add more rounds, and I'll talk about that when we get to it. We're going to attach with a slip stitch to the first half double crochet. And if you're going to continue building, you're going to chain 1. You're going to put an increase or 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then you're going to do an increase, 2 half double crochets, and then 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Continue that pattern around. You should end up with 40 half double crochets in the round. So pause, and I'll pause, and we'll come back around. All right, so you should have 40 half double crochets coming around. I'm going to do one more round for mine, which will bring me to 50 half double crochets. So I'm going to attach with a slip stitch to the first half double crochet. And the pattern for this will be an increase, 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And we're going to continue that pattern around. This round will end with 50 half double crochets. So let's pause here and finish the round, and then I'll talk about what to do next. All right, back around. We're going to attach with a slip stitch to the first half double crochet. Now this is the correct size for my water bottle. If it is for you too, you see how it comes out 2 rows. You want it to come out 2 rows past where your bottle sits. So sit your bottle in the middle, come out 2 rows. If yours does not, if you need more rows, you're going to go in order. We started with an increase in every stitch, an increase, and then 1, increase 1, and then we did increase 2, increase 2, then we did increase 3, increase 3. That's the one we ended with. If you need another round, you would do an increase in the first stitch and then 1 half double crochet in the next 4. And then so on. If you needed another round beyond that, it would be an increase and then 5. Since I'm going to stop here, we're going to just cut this and weave in the ends. But what we're going to do, this part right here is not, we're not going to continue in the round for this, because this stitch is a stitch that works best going back and forth. So we're going to make one panel and then bring it around and sew the bottom on the bottom. So what we're going to do for this part, we'll chain 53. You want to do 3 beyond wherever you end. So if you ended at 40, you would chain 43. You're going to end up that way having the correct number of stitches to sew all the way around the bottom, because we would start in the 3rd chain from the hook. So if I had 53, I'd end up total with 50 stitches at the bottom, which would perfectly match up with this. If you do the next one, the next round, you'd end up with 60, so you would chain 63 for the panel, and you'll get the correct amount. So I'm going to weave in the ends here, and then I'm going to chain 53 chains and get you started on the next part. You do the same thing. All right, I chained 53. And we're going to work this as a panel, and then we will sew it together this way, and then we will sew it together to the base. So the way that the crossed single crochet works, the first round, or the first row, in the 3rd chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, we're going to single crochet, and then chain 1, skip a chain, and then in the next chain you're going to single crochet. We're going to do that pattern all the way across to the end. I'll show you one more time, and then we'll pause it here and we'll all meet up when we get to the very end of the chain. Chain 1, skip a chain, single crochet in the next. Chain 1, skip a chain, chain 1, skip a chain, then single crochet in the next. Chain 1, that same pattern all the way across. So pause it here and then we'll come back and work the next row. You will end with a single crochet in the last stitch. So we turn, chain 2, this counts as a single crochet. Now you're going to look for the chain 1 space that you had from the row before. So you go into that chain space, pull up, and you're going to decrease in between the 2 chain spaces. And then chain 1. I make my chain loose, it makes it easier to find. You're going to go into the same chain space that you were just in and decrease with the next chain space. And then you chain, go into the same chain space and single crochet together between the 2 chain spaces. Chain 1, and we're going to continue that all the way to the end. When you get to the end, this is the last chain space, so you'll do a decrease here, chain 1, you'll go into here and decrease with the last stitch. I will stop right as I get to here so I can show you what I mean when I get there. Pause it here and meet me back at the end of the row. I've come to the last stitch here, so I did the decrease of these 2 in the chain space, chained 1, go back into the same space and decrease with the last stitch. Now we'll turn, and this is the row that we're just going to repeat for the whole thing. I'll talk you through it again. You're going to chain 2, which will count as a single crochet, and you're going to go into the chain space between the 2 stitches and the next one and decrease. Single crochet them together. Chain 1, go into that same chain space and decrease with the next chain space and single crochet them together. Chain 1, go into that same chain space, decrease with the next one, chain 1, continue that all the way to the end and come back. All right, we just continue what you did in that past row until it is the length that you want. Mine here, I had it just come up to about where the lid comes on, because we're going to add a couple of rows beyond that. So you can choose how tall you want it to be. If you want it to be completely way covered, then you can go up taller. If you only want it to come to, you know, if you only want it to come to about here, then you can do that. So you decide how tall you want it to be and continue adding rows until it's the height that you would like it to be, minus the handles. I built mine up to the height that I want it to be. So we should have the bottom and then this. I just wanted to point out, I didn't plan this, but I love the way this yarn worked up. It almost looks like there are X's here, like a white X here and then a darker X here, another one here. I actually love the way that worked out. This is my first time to work something like this up in this type of yarn. So the way that we're going to connect these is through slip stitches. I want you to look at yours. Now mine is kind of this is supposed to be a reversible stitch, so you could use either side as the front, but it, you know, look at it and see if you like one side better than the other. Whatever side you like better is going to be, you're going to do it on the inside because we're going to work this inside out. So once you decide, fold the good side in. I just have a stitch marker holding my stitch for me here. So I'm going to chain, and then I'm just going to grab stitches. I'm not going to count. I'm just going to try to evenly place where I put stitches without putting too much of a gap, and then just slip stitch all the way down. So why don't you finish yours, I'll finish mine, we'll pause it here, and then come back once we've finished that. All right, now I did not turn it right side out, by the way, leave it inside out. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach the bottom of it now. There is a right and a wrong side to this. You want the wrong side out because we are doing this inside out. So you want to have the wrong side right now showing out before we turn it right side out. And so we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to slip stitch into any stitch from the bottom all the way around. Once you do that, then you can finish and turn it right side out. So why don't we do that? We're going to slip stitch all the way around the bottom and then finish and turn it right side out, and then we'll do the next step. All right, I'm just bringing it up here to show you what I have so far. So it's kind of right where I want it to be. And so I turned mine right side out already. The next step is going to be to attach anywhere along the top. You already have your stitches there. You're going to reattach the yarn, and we're going to do 3 rounds of single crochet. So I'll get you started with a couple stitches, but then I think we can just pause rather than watch me do 3 rounds of single crochets in each stitch. All right, let's pause it here and come back when you've had 3 rounds of single crochets. I've just done 3 rounds of single crochet. So now I'm going to attach with a slip stitch to the very first single crochet and start immediately by chaining 20. Next thing we're going to do is skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to start in that 4th stitch, but we're going to call that number 1 because we're going to single crochet in the next 22 stitches, 22. We have 50 stitches going around. That's how we ended it, with 50. So we're going to single crochet in the next 22 stitches and then come back. So this is 1, here's 2, here's 3. When you get to, we're going to pause here. When you get to 22, then come back. I've just completed 22 stitches from where we chained. We're going to chain another 20. This will be the second handle. So I'll pause here. You can pause too while we chain 20. It's pretty boring watching me chain 20. I just chained 20. And now we're going to do the same thing we did before. We'll skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and in that fourth one, you're going to put a single crochet. There should be 22 single crochets getting you back to where we started. So let's do those 22 single crochets and then come back for the next step. I attach to the first chain with a slip stitch. So for this round, we'll just chain 1, and we'll put a single crochet in every chain and every stitch that goes around. So once you've done that, come back around. There's going to be one more round after this, and it's going to be the same thing. I'll just give it to you right now. We're going to do one more round of single crochets all the way around. So this round is where you put a single crochet in every chain and every single crochet that you do going around. And then the next round would be one single crochet in every stitch around, and then you finish it up. So let's do that and then come back. All right, I just wanted to show you how it turned out. Here's how it looks. You can still see the X's. I love that. Kind of looks like the brand symbol on my water bottle, and that's just a coincidence. I didn't try to do that. If you like this tutorial, I encourage you to subscribe so that you can see other tutorials and keep up to date with what we're doing here on Strings and Threads. Thanks so much. Have a great day. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.